We're here at the CYCA with Ron Epstein of the JPK 1180 Bacchanal. Very good to have you here, and there's been lots of attention about your boat and yourself. Where have you got to? How are the preps going?
Well, it's been we've been working towards this since March when we put the contract in to buy the boat and have it built. But the processes have all been very good. Boat's only been in the water almost 60 days. You have what you have in that period of time. But I think the processes we've adopted and the crew we have come together in a really good way. So I think we'll give it a good shot.
That's good. And some fairly full-on testing weather as well, as far as we know this morning.
Well, the weather reports are evolving very quickly.
Yes.
And the weather reports are starting to shape up that it's going to be a bit of a downwind sleigh ride, which is something this boat is known to enjoy. Although we've had limited opportunity to practice that in the two races we've done so far, we have seen some 20+ knot downwinds, and I think she'll handle it very well.
Go back to the beginning, perhaps. First of all, you're a bay sailor in San Francisco.
That's
typically.
right.
You're not much of a racing history, but you suddenly decided you want to go racing, and then you go and get a JPK 1180 built in Australia.
Yes.
So tell us the thinking about all of this.
Well, if something's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, I guess. I've loved sailing my entire life. I started sailing shortly after my 10th birthday when my dad discovered sailing, and I had to follow along, and then chose to follow along, and it was really a wonderful bonding experience, and ever since then, at the end of a tough month, to be able to go out for a sail has always been a joy. But I didn't buy a boat until towards the end of my working life, because when you don't have a lot of free time. So we bought one a decade ago, a J133, which I bought as just a safe boat to sail in San Francisco Bay. We have what people here like to call fruity weather.
Fruity, spicy
weather. We tend to
weather.
call it back home, spicy. So, the average summer's day, we're going to see 20, 25 knots of wind. So you want a nice, solid boat to sail in that. It turned out that was a race boat, as a friend of mine commented. And so I said, well, I'm only going sailing once or twice a week. Let's go racing, see if we can do some more of it. And I really fell in love with it as a way to be out on the water more and to attract other great sailors and to really evolve into something I hadn't done before, which is team sports. It's a fantastic team sport. And once I got into it, I got addicted. And I decided, as wonderful as that J was, it was 20,000 pounds of joy. Maybe we should pick a boat that I could age in, and we put a very specific set of directives together, but they included modern design. I could sail it with my wife on the weekends, because I don't just race, I still love my day sailing, and we could do 9-person offshore crewed races. And there aren't a lot of choices that really span that entire gamut. The JPK was one of them, and oh, by the way, it turns out, and that wasn't the primary reason we bought it. It turns out it's a fantastic racing boat. And
Absolutely.
So we're having a great time seeing what we can accomplish.
Excellent. And I think in saying that you made it able to do the big 600 miles like Hobart and then deal with a day on the bay with a short crew, you've got electronic winches, and do I hear you've got an electronic traveller?
We do. You can see it between us here. The electronic traveller is a lifesaver. I've since heard that everybody has come and taken a look at the back of the boat and is looking to how to stick one of those in. We do want to be able to sail with two people, and on the San Francisco Bay and 20 knots of wind.
And gusty too, presumably.
And with gusty, which is when you're actually using the traveller. It's always been a challenge, and so we decided to make some wise investments in this boat, not necessarily for racing, but to make it an easier day sailor, and it turns out they're just that much better for racing.
Excellent. And just lastly, a little bit about a mixed crew. So you've got some Australians on board, Australian navigator Tom Barker, and tell us a bit about the rest of the Australians and your American colleagues, of course.
So we have Shane Guinaria, who owns the Doyle Loft here, in addition to helping us. He's been sailing with me for 2 years, so the last two big boats and the California offshore, and we've become friends. And once we chose to build this boat, and in fact to build it here in Australia, because it's also built in France, we chose to build it here in Australia because we had so many contacts here.
I see, yes, okay.
And Shane and his team at Doyle helped us design. Not only did they design our sails, they helped us with the deck layout. Well, Shane has brought a number of his fellow sailors from Zen, which is a TP52 of some renown here.
Yes.
And it's not. I guess it shouldn't be that surprising that our control layout looks somewhat similar to Zen and the TP52s. So we have an opportunity to have some of those guys come along and really bring us that local knowledge and local expertise and experience that makes it easier for someone like me to come out and feel comfortable sailing. And I don't think it's just because I happen to know these guys. It's been my experience that Australians will just happily jump on board and help you out. And then I have a fellow American, one fellow American, Declan McGranahan. He's my foredeck guy for the last 2 years, and
you don't want to go changing that.
No. Even though he has made the mistake of moving to the East Coast, he'll still, as a lifelong West Coaster, I guess we view the East Coast the way Australians view New Zealand. We're friends, but a little bit competitive, I guess. So Declan came and joined us. So we're the two American-speaking Americans, and then we have Kieran and Marcus Canestra, who's the rear commodore of our yacht club and part of my regular crew back home, who are both Australians transitioning into Americans because they've both married American women and live in the Bay Area now. And then one Englishman, John, who keeps popping in and out of the back of the picture.
Right, so you're working on not only sailing down there, but on world relations as well.
We're the internet. Yes, we're trying to be the United Nations of sailing here, as long as those nations speak English at the moment. But we're looking to open that up to a broader international audience.
That's brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Ron. I hope you have a lovely Christmas day here as well.
Yes.
And all the best for what's going to be a very interesting race.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.